I've got scads of information. Even if it comes to just, if I have to photocopy something out of a book and email it to them, or I'll do whatever I can do for them.
Okay, Alan in Memphis, Tennessee, you're on the air.
How are y'all doing tonight?
Good.
Just fine, thank you.
What a comment, question, I'm not sure, but when I was younger, and even still today, I suffer from sleep paralysis, where I'll be in that zone where I'm not quite awake and not asleep, but I can open my eyes and see around me, but I can't move, and it feels like there's something in the room with me. Sometimes I can even see shadows or something out of the corner of my eye.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any memories or anything like that of being abducted or anything like that, but I was just wondering if y'all had any comments or thoughts about that.
Well, my thought would be sleep paralysis is very, very common. Whether or not anything has happened to you during this time, I guess, what do you suggest for that, Butch? Hypnotic regression or what?
Well, one of the easiest things, and especially if it's a male, if you sleep in boxer shorts and you get up in the morning and your boxer shorts are on backwards, there's a pretty good chance that you were abducted.
Or had some unusual.
That comes from Dr. Jacob. He said, he found that in so many cases where, fellas went to bed and they're wearing boxer shorts and they wake up and their boxer shorts are on backwards.
That's a big clue, all right.
Or another one is with sleep paralysis, not so much as paralysis, but does the person have the feeling that they're being held down? Are they trying to fight to get up and it's like somebody's pushing them back down? And that's another good sign they've been abducted.
Reno, Nevada. Betty, you're on the air.
Hi, Art. I'm glad you took my call, and hello, Butch.
How you doing?
Hi. I want to ask you something. When I was about 5 years old, and I'm 65 now, and it was before my mother passed away, and I was at 5 when that happened, and I had an experience that all these years I can remember it as if it just happened yesterday. I'm sure that I must have been taken because I remember running through like a round circle. And you know how on ships how they have the uplift of the step that you have to step over? And I was a little child, and I was running and I was jumping over these steps trying to run away from these little people that was chasing me. And to get away from them, I just jumped back because there was like a recess part of it. And I was hiding, and they ran by me. And these were, like I said, they were little in stature. And I was just wondering, since I was so young, and that has been so vivid in my mind all these years, could I have had an experience then? Because there was other things afterwards that I have experienced where I got these huge lumps on the back of my neck there at the base of the skull. And I've asked doctors about it, and they say, it's just a muscle and stuff like that from tension and all. But sometimes they get, and they hurt me so bad, so bad. And, it's just, and now I'm having to go to a doctor for my kidneys because the doctor is saying that my kidneys are putting out too much protein. And before the break, I think I heard you say something about the protein. Mm-hmm. And I was just wondering, what do you think, Butch? Do you think I ought to? Because it was not like an imagination. I mean, you know.
Well, I think that Butch and a doctor are likely to give you very different advice on the subject. Let me put it that way. Butch, I would imagine that a lot of this sort of thing is exactly what it sounds like, some sort of physical ailment, not due to aliens, not due to abduction or mutilation or any sort of manipulation,
right,
but just physical problems. And how does one, in your position, separate the two?
Well, there are a few things, like the boxer shorts. I mean, when I first heard that, I just went, oh my God, where are we going with this? But when I thought about it, and also people that say they never had sleep paralysis or they never had any problem sleeping, but every now and then they have to. It's like they have to fight to get out of bed. There's like something holding them down. They can't. They actually flail where they hurt themselves, or after that's over, they find a mark on their body that wasn't there when they went to bed, and that's a good indication that person has been abducted, or the abduction proceeded but didn't get as far as it was supposed to. And then you have the person that has sleep paralysis, and they tell you they need the thing to breathe at night because they stop breathing, and then there's a physical ailment. But it just seems like everything that happens at night is an abduction. And people have been abducted in broad daylight. I mean, there's a case of a guy in, I believe it was, no, it wasn't Kentucky. I think it was Tennessee, where he was talking to his wife in another room, and she stopped talking, and he kept talking, and he finally walked in, and she was gone. And an hour later, she showed up out at their barn, just standing there, and he said, "Where were you?" And she said, "Well, I was out here." And he said, "No, you weren't. You were in there." And she went under regression, and she's been abducted since she was the age of 5, and she was now 45.
Wow. Terry in Topeka, Kansas, you're on the air. Not a lot of time. Hello.
Hi, Art and Butch.
Hi.
This is Terry in Topeka, and I just wanted to share an abduction experience with you that I had.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, anyway, the first time that I ever woke up and not in my bed is when this happened. Anyway, after I woke up, they put me back out again. And anyway, I found myself being floated down this hallway that was brightly lit, and it was white. There were no doors, nothing to distinguish a hallway or doors or anything. And I couldn't tell where the light came from, but anyway, when I tried to turn around and see these two little guys that were floating me down the hallway, couldn't see them, and they waved their hand over this part of the wall, and it opens up, and they take me into this room, and it's an auditorium, and they set me in this balcony by myself, and down below me are just hundreds of people in this audience, and it just looks like a normal audience, but I could sense that they weren't really human, even though they kind of looked human. Anyway, so I'm sitting there, and these two guys wouldn't let me turn around, and they told me telepathically to try not to leave again because they would be standing right outside the door, and they would catch me if I did. Anyway, so I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, this woman walks out on the stage, and everybody in the audience kind of quieted down, and it was a round room, and anyway, she started singing this scale, and she was just horrible. And anyway, the audience started laughing at her, and it reminded me of, just a story out of, some 50s greasers type, West Side Story type thing, and anyway, everybody in the audience started laughing at her. And then they started throwing, cheesy.
I'm so sorry to do this, but she got cut off anyway. I'm so sorry to do this, but we're literally out of time. Butch, it has been an honor to have you on the program. It's a very, very difficult subject, and I'm honored to have had the opportunity to talk about it with you.
No, the honor's all mine. It's a pleasure to be there. And,
okay, we will do this again, Butch. I guarantee we'll do it again. It's a whale of a subject.
Yes, it is.
Take care, and good night, my friend.
Good night. You take care.
All right, folks, from the other side of the world, that's it for this day. I'm Art Bell, in for George Norrie, who will be back next week, tomorrow night. Ian Punnett from Manila, Philippines. Night all.
For the truth, will we make it to